Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Jeffachu here, getting ready to judge a Pokemon TCG Cup at my locals. Going to be opening up some booster packs as well. Going to be getting a Surging Sparks ETB, along with possibly a Paldean Fates booster bundle. Kind of depends on what they have there today. As always, I have my trusty buddy Clodsire here, practicing proper safety measures for traveling in the car. So we are going to go ahead and hopefully pull some good stuff today. Join me on this journey. Alright, here we are at Strike Zone. This is my locals. If I can get a nice, yes, Strike Zone. Haha. Strike Zone's here in Houston, and we are going to be hosting a Pokemon Cup here, a TCG Cup. I don't know if there's VGC today. I guess I'll find out when I get in there. But let's go take a look.
This idea started out as many others, as an enhancement of a previously thought of idea. Vlogs are not anything new, especially vlogs for competitors at tournaments. Many players vlog about their experience with their tournament rounds and how they feel throughout the day. There's even a channel out there, the Bulbasaur, who vlogs every interaction with customers. It's a POV vlog from their side as a seller. This vlog idea takes those ideas and adds something new to it. What is it like being a judge on the floor of a Pokemon tournament? What is expected of the judges, and what kind of situations do we deal with in a Pokemon League Cup event? This vlog was meant to help answer those questions, and I'm glad I did it. Many unique situations came up at this League Cup in particular, so I hope you stick around and enjoy the vlog and get a taste for what it takes to be a Pokemon Professor judge. Also, hang around for the pack openings at the end of the video, because it was wild. Also, please forgive the audio differences. My camera does not have an external microphone yet, so that audio may be a bit softer than this.
So a typical day of judging enlists doing a couple of things, such as standees, table numbers, setting up deck sheets, printers for match slips, all this good stuff, with the best TO in all of this area, and now the fabled laptop, wherever it may be. And here are the employees that make everything worth it, the sexiest men in all of Houston. So in a typical judge thing, what we do is we will take a filled out deck list, and we make sure that the players put their name, their player ID, and their date of birth, checking off that. There's a helpful little thing right here that shows them what exactly the sets are for the abbreviation. Because Pokemon are very different, each Pokemon needs to be set off by its set. All trainer cards do exactly the same thing, so you don't have to worry about the set number, the collection number, or the regulation number. So we look at the quantity, the name of the Pokemon, as long as it says something like Pokemon level X or Pokemon V, something like that, then it goes ahead and it works. And so as you can see, some people print them out through RK9, and they have this kind of deck list here. And then I use this useful tool to then count it up. So they have 2 of this card, so I click 2 there, 1, then I go to the trainers, I put it in, and the grand total is looking to be 60. Once we verified that it is a 60 card deck, and all the cards are legal, we go ahead and we sign it, putting the level of the player, an M for Masters, S for Senior, J for Juniors, and then we put it off to the side. If there are any issues, we call up the players and we let them know, and then they go ahead and they fix it. Overall, pretty simple. Alright, so we finally started round 1. We had a couple of issues, and that sometimes happens. One of the things you can do to make sure that an issue doesn't occur is making sure that your deck list is legal, so making sure you have a full 60 card deck list when you come up. This is something that us judges go ahead and we do a quick run through to make sure, and we'll go ahead and we will let the player know if their deck list is currently not up to snuff, either missing a card or has too many cards. Using that tool I showed you earlier, we'll also be looking to make sure that there are not any cards that are currently not supposed to be in the format. So for instance, this is a Stellar Crown TCG Cup. The most recent set, Surging Sparks, has not been released yet, so we do not go ahead and allow that yet, because it has not been legal for tournament play yet. So that's one of the things you can do as a player to assist us as the judges, is to make sure that your deck lists are as accurate as possible. Neat handwriting is also a very good thing in order to make sure that your deck list is going to be read smoothly and cleanly, and that there's not going to be any issues. A wonderful resource that I'll probably put a link to down in the description is RK9. They have a deck list editor where you can find the exact cards that you have based on the set and regulation number, as I showed earlier. You can use that in order to be able to click images of the cards. It'll show you exactly what cards you have. The trainers may not always match exactly, but that's okay, because trainers are trainers are trainers. They always do the same thing, and if there's a new trainer that comes out, then the old trainers are errated to match the current trainers. So that doesn't matter as much, but the Pokemon, it'll have all of the images, all of the arts for the Pokemon, and you'll be able to click those, and it will let you know how many cards you have. So that is a very good resource to use as a player, and it really helps the judges out, because then we just have to make sure that you have an approved standard deck list and just double check to make sure there were no errors there. Generally there's not. I ran into one thing today where there was a player who was running a little bit low on ink, and so they had to go ahead and put in a proper number. They had to handwrite it in, and so at that point I just went ahead and I checked their deck, the versions of their cards, just to make sure that nothing was wrong with the printed version. Just, doing my due diligence. Another thing to do to make sure that the event runs smoothly is the TO will post a list of the pairings prior to the actual pairings that will tell people, hey, are you here at this tournament? And then you go and you check your name on the list. If everybody sees that their name is on the list, then we get to go ahead and proceed. We actually had an issue where a couple people didn't check their names on the list. They had their friend do it, and they weren't actually there. They thought they saw their friend, and so that put us behind just a little bit. We also had another issue concerning the software management, Tom, but that was something entirely different. A player requested a name change. They have a new name now, and the last time they played here, they were still using their previous name. So we had to go ahead and change that, and in changing that, a couple of players accidentally got dropped. That was nobody's fault. It's an older system. Sometimes these kinds of things happen. It is the problem with living in a technological world, So, little things like that will set a tournament behind. But that's really no fault of the players. It was a technology issue, so no issue there. But it's always good to make sure ahead of time, before we start the round, that everything is as it should be. And catching things like that before we actually start the round, when we can quickly change the name without having to do an entire repair. So, it just happens, There's nothing wrong with it, and we got it done. Right now the tournament is underway. This particular TCG Cup is a 30-minute best-of-one Swiss tournament, standard format, as I've said before. So the players have 30 minutes to play one round against each other, and after time they have 3 turns to determine a winner. If all 6 prizes are taken by that point, then they are able to advance and bring their winning match slip to the match slip bucket. If there is no prizes taken, all of them by each player, and no proper outcome is determined, then it ends in a tie. And nobody's eliminated in a tie or even a loss. That's the beauty of Swiss. You keep playing and you try to go with the best records you have. This particular cup is actually a really big one today. We have 37 players here, and we have a good number of mix of a couple of seniors and 1 junior, and the rest are all masters. We will have a top 8, which is exciting, and we do believe that there's going to be a large number of players that are going to be able to get championship points. So I'll go ahead and update as we go along, and hope you're enjoying the fun.
Ultimate Pokemon Master Trainer!
Yes, I think I am.
Oh yeah? And why do you want IDs?
No. You give it the intentional draws.
Oh, yes. Why do you feel that we should get rid of intentional draws?
Am I actually being recorded?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Because I was about to start doing something else, and then you walked up.
They don't have intentional draws in VG because they want them to play into it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I feel like it gets rid of most of the issues that we have right now. Like, oh, well, what's the point in playing with the top 8 if I know everybody ahead of me is going to ID into it?
That's fair. I mean, and VG itself is just like super. It runs itself basically once it gets going. So
That's true.
that could also be part of it.
Yeah, I went to but I guess the only good thing about top 8, the only good thing about IDing is that as judges, we get to deck check most likely those who be in top 8, which saves us time for the tournament.
Now tell me what you think about the Ian Robb debacle. I was about to do my own, to monologue something, and then he came up and started talking about fun ID stuff, as I had just turned on the recording.
Fun ID stuff? What do you mean?
His thoughts about IDing. Probably.
I mean, that's between you, yourself.
And the quality of your sleeves. Probably smart, so that way you're not rushing to do it after the fact. I probably won't include any of that. Or maybe like a small snippet of us chatting with a player. That was 6 minutes of us just chatting. Alright, so I'm on a break right now, and yeah, I just thought I'd update. We are in round 4 right now, so I thought I would just kind of come on in and give you guys another little perspective of some stuff that's going on. So, ran into a couple of interesting judge question scenarios. One of the things that you have to do is you have to sometimes interpret the game for the players. So, some people might think that a ruling would be obvious, but that's part of the reason why we're here as judges. You know, we take the test, we have a better understanding of the rules as a game. So, for instance, somebody was using the Reggie Drago V-Star ability, but they had no cards in deck. So the question became, can they actually use that ability with no cards in deck? And you could look at it, and you could look at the card and be like, well, it says you have to first discard these cards. So no, obviously, you can't use the ability. But it's a valid question, because Pokemon as a game is a lot different than a game like Yu-Gi-Oh! In Yu-Gi-Oh!, if you have an effect and you can't meet every part of that effect, you cannot play the card. It is just, you can't do it, right? In Pokemon, if you can do part of the effect, the rule of Pokemon is you do as much as you can. So, in that case, if you can do part of the effect, then you are able to still play the card, to an extent. So, something like Reggie Drago, because there are no cards left in deck, and the deck is, the number of cards in the deck is public knowledge, if you don't have any cards to discard, you can't actually do the effect, and you can't just take 2 random cards from your discard pile for free. And so that's one of the benefits of being a judge is, you know, we go over there, we look at it, and we make sure each player understands the rules. What I did during that time is I checked in with my head judge. I am technically the head judge for this event here, but my TO, and he's been doing this longer than I have, so I default to his wisdom, to his knowledge, and just making sure that I am correct in what I believe is the rulings. And we went ahead and we agreed, and yeah, we just had to tell the guy, you know, sorry, you can't do this, and we explained it, and everything was good. He conceded the round at that point, because he knew he probably wasn't going to win anyway. It was a hopeful last-ditch effort, if he could do it, to try to pull a win out. And, you know, much respect, you know, play to your routes. Definitely something I try to do as a player. But yeah, it's one of those nice things that we can do. Then you also have the unfortunate other side of things, where you have a type of misplay that costs somebody quite the issue. So we had an issue where the opponent played Misfortune Sisters, which is a supporter card where they look at the top 5 cards of their opponent's deck. They can discard any trainer cards they find there, any item cards, and then they put those 5 cards, they hand them back to the opponent, and the opponent shuffles them. well, the opponent unfortunately looked at the cards, and they're not allowed to see the cards. So it became an issue where they looked at cards in their deck without an effect that allowed them to, and so we had to give them what's known as a DPL, a double prize loss penalty. So unfortunate, but they understood why, and I told them they could appeal to the head judge if they needed to, and they were cool with it. So sometimes that happens as well, but we're here to try to make sure that the rules are being followed and that nobody's gaining an unfair advantage intentionally or otherwise, and we do the best we can and hope that it's sucky when it happens in something like a cup. That's why when we have regular league or regular lower end challenges, we try to make sure that these mistakes happen at those events before they come up to something like a cup or a regional. But again, it's better that something like that happened here at a cup than when they were to go to a regional and then lose a chance at being able to top a regional. So there's just some updates. I'm going to go ahead and finish my break and my fries, and I'm going to go ahead and we'll report later. We are now in top 8. Things are a little bit different in top 8. The players have to get deck checked, every single player that's going to be in top 8, even if there's been a deck check earlier in the game, earlier in the tournament. We deck check to make sure that the sleeves are in good enough condition, because there can be wear and tear over the tournament. We check to make sure that the card list matches what is actually in the deck, and all that kind of good stuff there. We collect all the decks, we have them write their names, at least here anyway, on a little piece of paper like this, just a little scrap piece of paper. We go ahead and we put them in the deck box, and then myself and the TO, or another judge, if there is another judge, will go through the deck lists. We'll generally split them up 50-50 and slip them, check them out, make sure everything is good. A lot of times, especially going into top 8, we have to really scrutinize every little ding on the card sleeves. We want it to be as objectively fair as possible, so that way there are no issues that can come up, no chance for any kind of funny business. 9 times out of 10, the decks are fine. We actually had one player today who knew that they were probably going to have to change their sleeves, and they went ahead and they changed them before we even started. So that was really great. They knew they were going to be in top 8. They had ID'd and got and they went on and took a quick break and whatever, but before that, because they knew they were going to be in top 8 because of the record, they went ahead and they made those changes. So it made our lives a lot easier. It's definitely not expected. Usually, a lot of players will just turn in their decks, and they're like, hopefully we only have to do a couple sleeves, but sometimes we have to do the full thing. But it was very nice of them to be able to do that for us. What else? In top 8, we have 75-minute rounds, so an hour and 15 minutes, and it goes from being best of 1 to a best of 3, with the 3-turn extension after time. So definitely a lot later. This is generally the longest part of the tournament up to this point, because we go from having 5 quick rounds of 30 minutes to having 3 rounds of 75 minutes. It is approximately 5 o'clock now, so we're looking at not getting out of here until around 8 o'clock. Which, it's part of the job, And our TO, because we only had one judge today, because that's just the way it happened, our other judge called out sick. He got the flu, which is never really good. We recruited the help of a friend to help run our weekly tournament, because at our locals we're a little crazy and we run multiple tournaments in a day. But yeah, so we still got a weekly tournament going, and we've got the cup still underway going. And I was able to take a break earlier, but now is my TO's turn to take a break, and he's a real trooper. He's been waiting all day. He was even like, maybe I won't take a break, and I'm like, no, you need to take a break. Take your break. Huh?
I didn't say that.
You did. You were kind of like, I don't need a break. I'm not going to get a break. One of the cool things about our locals is the guys who run this place. They really care for us. We treat them well. They treat us well. One of them got us pizza. So my TO is currently eating pizza, which was really cool of him. So yeah, I mean, there are perks to being a judge, and you know, this was a really crazy one. I know I haven't talked too much about the craziness of this particular tournament, but there were lots of little nuances that happened throughout. A lot of like computer technology blips, or people not listing that they were dropping in time, which caused some repairs and other stuff. So it does take time, and sometimes the players can get, you know, a little bothered by that. You know, they want a smooth running tournament, but we just keep the spirits up and we let them know that we're doing the best we can, and we've got a pretty good track record at our locals. So, you know, they get a little flustered, but at the end of the day, they keep coming back to us, so we must be doing something right. So, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Here's a little behind the scenes. Not behind the scenes, but of the tournament. Hi. Stop it. You're on break, go away. Leagues are a great place for people to come and just open packs. Huh?
Burn's 20, right?
Burn is 20, yeah. And then you flip in between turns.
Just got Mammy Man trying to help you guys, so I made sure he does it.
Okay. Because burn is 20, because confusion is 30, and paralyzed is nothing. And this here is some of our delightful Strike Zone employees, Juan and John. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good.
Excellent. We love these guys. They treat us well, they give us pizza, they let us stay here well past when we should be closed, so these guys are awesome.
Like, there is no light behind my eyes anymore.
Mainly because of Pokemon.
Actually, it's because of Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon is just
What's your favorite Pokemon, guys?
It has to be one.
Pikachu!
Pikachu?
No.
Awesome.
No, it's not Pikachu. It's Chikorita.
I love Chikorita.
Yeah.
Such a good...
Boiled.
Yes.
Have you seen that video?
No.
There's a video of somebody butchering a Chikorita and turning it into a salad.
Awesome. Palafint's very cool.
But I mean, it's not fair to put top one for like I love like the Johto series.
Yeah.
Or girls do it. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, without these guys, we wouldn't be able to run this tournament. We wouldn't be able to do any of the things we do. It's very cool of them to let me do this, because I did not ask ahead of time. So, but yeah, they're cool. They're awesome. We love them. He loves them. It is very dark out. It is the end of the tournament. It went very well. We had Charizard win. Woo! Oh boy. So one of the things that I want to discuss, some certain things happened. That again is it's weird because it happened in such a way that it's tough to bring up, but it's actually like really good for this vlog. We had an incident where a player declared an attack on his opponent's Pokemon with a boss in hand and ready to, you know, they would have been able to take the game. But there, supposedly, there was a bravery charm hidden underneath the energies of the Pokemon. The Pokemon were apparently stacked up with energies and the bravery charm underneath. The opponent did not hear that player declare the placing of the bravery charm when it was initially placed. And then there was the issue of no longer able to take a knockout. They had the boss in hand, they could have played the boss and taken a knockout on the other Pokemon. That player went ahead and called for a judge, and by the time I was not the judge at that moment, I was actually on break when this happened. Was I on break or was I doing deck checks? I don't remember. I think I was still on the tail end of my break. Anyway, our TO judge went over to take it, because I must have been on break, because I would have gone over regardless of the deck checks. So I was still on break, and they went over, and by the time they got over,
the board was clear enough to see that the bravery charm was in fact visible at that point. So ultimately it turned into a he said, she said kind of circumstance. So the sad thing is that the player did not request to appeal the ruling that they had already declared the attack, so there wasn't anything that could be done. And so he, according to him, he signed the match slip kind of under duress, because that's his words, not mine. Because he said that he felt that the judge had made the ruling, he didn't realize he could appeal, and so he figured that was that. And then he came over, the judge came over to tell me what was going on, and then that player came over, and he expressed how he was upset about the ruling and the situation. And it is difficult, as you know, I'm hearing it first from my judge, and then I'm hearing it from him, but also the fact that he signed the match slip, and he didn't choose to appeal. Now, we're not perfect. We make mistakes, and in this case, the TO did forget to state that he had the right to appeal. So, you know, it's a tough situation as the only other judge there at that point, because we had the other judge who wasn't there. It kind of fell on me to have to make that decision, and I consider myself a pretty decent judge, but I always like to check with my TO ahead of time, because you want to make sure you're giving a fair and partial ruling. And in that case, if the bravery charm had not been announced upon attach, and if it was hidden at the time, I would have ruled, most likely, that due to the board state not being made present and clear, as it says in the rules that they have to be made present and clear, I probably would have gone ahead and ruled that the game state could have been turned back. I did have to go base off of my judge, though, going forward and saying, this is how I saw it, because it was turning into a he said, she said kind of ordeal. So what ended up happening is, because he signed the match slip, he effectively lost that round. I did pull over the other player, and I showed them the graphic on the rules, and I said, look, this is how your stuff has to be set up from here on out, and we're, you know, going to be watching to make sure that it is a clearly represented board state. It was difficult for me to make that kind of a call, because I had played against this player previously, pre-COVID, and the very same thing had happened to me with this particular player. This was before I was judging any events. I was still a judge. I was a partial league leader, but I was not judging any kind of events yet. And the very same thing had happened to me. He had not said the announcement of placing an item very similar to the bravery charm. I don't remember the exact item at this point, but it was either an HP increaser or a damage reducer. That was not properly stated. I had the exact same condition. I had a Boss S card in hand. I think this was Sun and Moon era, so it likely would have been like Guzma or something like that. But I had a way to switch actives, and I could have gotten a proper KO, and I would have played my turn differently. Luckily for me, during that, it was a more minor weekly tournament. It was not anything like a cup. As we are not Pokemon International, we cannot use previous bias, nor can we use any previous information from stuff like that to make these kinds of decisions. So I had to really look inside myself and be as unbiased as possible. And because my judge on the floor at that time did not see an error in the game state as it was represented, we had to tell the other player, look, next time make sure you always know you can appeal. Never sign the match slip until you've appealed if you feel you want to appeal. And make sure you just make sure that the board state is clean, and because it is both players' responsibility to make sure that they're aware of the board state. And I had to go based off of what my judge saw. And it sucks because, there was a lot of ways in which it could have gone differently. There's a lot of ways in which it could have been changed, but at the end of the day, it is on the players to make sure that the board state is maintained, and the one fault would be my judge not reminding them that they could appeal. And I really feel bad because I have made that exact same mistake in the past. I have forgotten to tell people that they have the right to appeal, and I feel bad for my judge because it is the one thing that he's constantly reminding me to do, is tell the player they have the right to appeal. They have the right to appeal. Always make sure you tell them, Jeffachu, they have the right to appeal. And, I've gotten a lot better about it, but he's so spot on all the time, and he just made that one mistake this time. So it is unfortunate that he really took it hard. Like, we're not out to play favorites. We're not out to do anything malicious. We want everybody to have a good time, and mistakes do happen. We also had some other slight hiccups where we had players that didn't appear on the rosters. I think I mentioned that earlier. We had a very interesting case where the player playing Iron Thorns in top 4, I finally got to do a judge ball, which is where if after 8 attempts they have not found an active Pokemon, the judge comes over and they reveal cards until they get till they get a basic Pokemon, lay it down, shuffle up, and then the player draws 6 cards instead of 7, and then sets up their prizes, and it can go as forward. So I finally got to do that, and then immediately after, I'm like, okay, you guys can start the round, and I hit start, and I turned around, and within a moment, I was judge, and I turned around, and they're like, he said he was going second, but he just drew for turn. As first turn player in top 4. And I mean, it's top 4 in a cup. He saw the top of his deck without an effect. And, it was a total, we understand what happens. He forgot that he said he was going second. But, as much as we can try to reverse the rules, or, reverse game state and whatnot, that was a pretty big misplay in top 4, so unfortunately that was a DPL. I have a heart, but in fairness, that would give him an idea of what his next card is. So, yep, that was a DPL, and he ended up winning, though, his top 4 round, so congrats to him all the same. There was a lot of fun stuff going on the sides. After top 4, we had a helper come in to help run our weekly tournament, and it was nice to hear him say that he feels we don't get paid enough for what we do, because he used the NRT, the NTR. It's an app that we use to help run non-Tom weekly tournaments, and so we use that to kind of shotgun it, and we can post the pairings on Discord and all that kind of stuff through screenshots and whatnot, just kind of streamline everything. And he was having a heck of a time, having never used the program before, and he was like, man, you guys, he said it like each round, he's like, you guys don't get paid enough to do this. We had people drop in, like 2 people dropped at the end of one of the rounds, and he had to figure out how to get them off there, and repair in the app and everything, and it was just nice to see somebody understand that,
for us, it's old hat. Like, we've done it many times before, so we're kind of used to it. You know, we find it fun. We enjoy running tournaments, but it was nice to hear that that they enjoyed that and that they see the value in the hard work that we do. At the end of the day, Pokemon is a game for all players to enjoy and to be able to experience meeting new people and playing with these adorable creatures that we have been blessed for over 20 years to have in our lives. It was a very weird juxtaposition at the end of top 4. We had 2 players who were so locked in, they were barely saying anything to each other. And then you had 2 players who were sitting there kind of joking with each other, and one of them's like, I'm having the time of my life right now, you know, and just kind of jovial. Like, they were nervous, you know, like the ADHD leg thumping was going, and the one guy was going like this with his hands, you know, and the constant, you know, card flipping in the hand, you know, just like kind of shuffling the hand, nervousness, but they were still having fun, and it was still a good time. So it was just, it's fun to see that juxtaposition, you know, the people who take it seriously and lock in, the people who have fun, and the mix in between. Just a lot of fun to be had, some good times all around. Shout out to the people at Strike Zone that they keep the lights on for us well after closing. It's 7:49 now, and the store closed at 6. And through the kindness of their hearts, they stayed open for us to be able to finish this. I guess technically it was closer to 7:30 when I started doing this part of the blog. But great guys, you know, just, we're really fortunate to have a great locals. So next up is me going home and opening my booster packs. I got a couple of prize packs for as my judge comp. And I bought the Paldean Fates and the Surging Sparks that I said I was going to, so gonna grab a quick bite to eat, and then we'll be back at Mikasa to see what my money got me. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and open up our packs because I promised you. I'm gonna go ahead and start with these prize packs. These were part of my judge comp. I also got a little bit of cash for volunteering my time. And then these 2 things I got at the shop, but I do want to do a quick shout out to a couple of things. I got a couple of new people who came to the league. I'm trying to build, as a professor, you know, we always try to come up with wacky deck ideas. I'm trying to build this interesting Me Spirit Yuxi Azelf deck, and because of the Guardian Burst attack, and I just think it would be kind of useful. They're all buddy-buddy catchable, buddy-buddy poffinable, excuse me. And 160 for 2 energy is not bad at all. And a couple people who were there just opening up some Surging Sparks, they had bought a booster pack, they pulled these and they gave them to me for free. So just a really nice community, good set of people that we have. And even though they were brand new to the store and they don't know me, they were willing to go ahead and give me some free cards. So I'm going to go ahead and open up these prize packs first. Claude Cyrus here to bless these packs, although I've already pulled the Prime Catcher and the Mew, believe it or not. It is pretty fun because I pulled those not from being a judge comp thing. I pulled them just from playing in tournaments, so there's not too much I'm really looking for in here except for maybe some more Earthen Vessels and Sadas, although Explorer's Guidance is pretty good. I always love getting the Hollow Energies. I love Hollow Energies. I love playing Hollow Energies. So, you know, that kind of stuff always makes me happy. So we got a Turo, Iono. That's always good to have more Ionos. Rescue Board's not bad as a Hollow, and a Nest Ball's always good to have. Sometimes I've got to figure out why it does it. Sometimes my camera cuts out, so if it hasn't been showing y'all, I apologize. I think I've been down here, so hopefully you've been able to see it. Luxurious Cape, a Miraidon. There we go. Metal Energy, and a Turo Scenario, and another Metal Energy. That's kind of funny. So I'm not really looking for too much in the prize packs. Buddy Buddy's pretty nice. Mist Energy, Brambly Guy, Devo, Grass Energy's always nice. used to have some really nice Celebi energies from HGSS, hollow ones. We're not going to talk about what happened to those. Let's just say there were some bad people in the world and they take stuff that don't belong to them. But that's about all we're going to say there. Perilous Jungle, Jirachi. I like Jirachi. Jirachi's probably my favorite mythical Pokemon, if you don't count something like, Darkrai and Cresselia, but even then I think Jirachi still probably beats it out. Another Buddy, another Mist Energy, Roaring Moon. Ooh, a Qian Pao stamp DX. Nice. With a Lightning Energy. Alright, so that was a pretty nice set of cards right there. Very cool. Okay, I think we're going to go into the Paldean Fates next. I have a Shiny Dex that I am trying to build. I have been working on it for a long time, and so anytime these Shiny sets come out, it's always nice to have those to be able to get some of the smaller Pokemon. So these bundles are 6 packs, which is pretty nice because you get a good chance to pull some decent stuff. I have pulled the Bubble Mew. I'm still hoping to get the Gardevoir and the Charizard. So we'll just run through these real quick, see what we can get. Got a Gengar, Charmeleonaire. Whoops, sorry. My inner Leonhardt. Clodsire! Yay! It's him! Look at the little guys! Hello! Hello, we're friends. Okay, that's fun, that's fun. A little sad that it's not the shiny Clodsire, but hey, it matches our precious boy right here. Okay, next pack. You'll have to excuse the mess on my table. It is just, it is what it is. It is messy. I am messy. Mankey, Flittle, Pikachu, Graveyard, Atticus, Mousehold, Iono, Goldengo, Mousehold, and Research. Okay, and a basic Darkness Energy. Again, I watched a Leonhardt video the other day, so all the Leonhardtisms are coming out. Pikachu, Graveyard, Chinchou, Woobat, Oinkalone, Camerupt, Moonlit Hill. Ooh, a Tandemaus. I already have this one shiny, though. That's the only sad thing. Pawmi, okay. That was a pretty decent pack. 2 shinies. I already have all those, though. But, nice to pull those. Good to have, good to have. Okay. Okay, we got Phanpy, Chinchou, Varoom, Charmander, Chard, whatever Kilowattrel sounds like, Clive, this thing, this guy. Hello, my name is Dedede, and I am here now. And a Cyclizar, okay. It's so funny to me that they made a motorcycle Pokemon. Like, of all the things we can have, we went with a motorcycle Pokemon. Okay, Scraggy, excuse me. Gimmighoul, Magmar, that's fun. Never noticed he was sitting like that. Nemona, Mousehold, Mabostiff, Mime Jr., and a Ceruledge. Okay, one more. We only got... I guess technically we got 2 shinies in that one pack, but I'd like, I don't know, slightly more of a hit. Something, I don't know. Oh, I think we might get it here. So we got, hello, I am Dedede, Nemona, Natsu, Rare Candy, Kirlia, Grappalock, Nemona, Kadabra! Unfortunately, I already have Kadabra! Lechonk, and Research. Okay. And, yeah, last thing is going to be this Surging Sparks. So give me a second as I open this. This Magneton is so dope. Make sure this is in the camera. Yeah, this Magneton is just so cool. This art is so dope. Great Pokemon, great thing. Okay, pretty simple, but I like it. I like the design. Got our Boaster packs. We got this nice yellow dice. This stuff. Oh, okay, there it is, yeah. Okay, cool. Alright. Hoping for Latias and Flygon and all the fun stuff, but I'll take pretty much anything. The SIR Pikachu would be kind of cool, but I don't really want that card because I don't personally think it looks really good, but the money it could give me, I like. So, I like that they reprinted Countergain, Altaria, Vivillon, Quaxley. Oh my goodness. So, Jasmine is my favorite gym leader of Johto. And I was really hoping I could pull this. I forgot it was in the set. I'm so happy. Oh, excellent. I'm so happy. And then a Tapu Koko. Yes! Oh, so happy. Let's go ahead and grab, I have some other sleeves over here. Oh god, that made me so happy. We got some Tarapago sleeves. Let's go ahead and sleeve up Jasmine. So happy. Now I just need the regular full art as well, but this made me so happy. ETB worth it. I'll probably not pull anything else good, but hey, I can't complain. Kecleon, Trapinch, Cryogonal, Uxie, yay! Got one of those now. Surfer, I think Uxie was the one I was missing. Meowstic, Clobopus, and Tapu Lele. I would love the Latias, but Jasmine made me happy. So Primeape, Rufflet, another Trapinch, Rellor, Dragon Elixir, Xerneas, Passimian, Zangoose, Callbell, and there he is, the full art Flygon EX. I am pulling pretty much everything I could want out of this. Holy crackers and cheese. The Jasmine SAR and the Flygon Full Art EX. Oh man, this ETB. I don't even know if these... I mean, the Jasmine's probably worth something. The Flygon's probably not worth all that much, but like, to me, this... Oh, and I think there's another thing in here. I think there's another... Oh, no, it's an item. It's a spec. But this is already just so worth it. Lucia's Appeal, Azumarill. I think this Azumarill's so funny. Gravity Mountain, Enriching Energy, okay, Panseer, and Terapagos. I'll go ahead and put this in. I don't think the Enriching Energy is, like, super valuable. I think there are other energies people would rather play, and by valuable, but at this point, I meant, like, in terms of playability. Yeah, but hey, this has been a good EVP. Celio, Clobaguy, Heliolisk, Citadel, Lively Stadium, Shiinotic, Time, and Time again, Vibrava, and Chien-Pao. Nice. Hey, okay, so we got the Vibrava, reverse foil, and the Chien-Pao, like we got in the prize packs. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Oh, this was a decent ETB so far. And we still got so many packs left. Oh, I'm doing this all wrong. Stunfisk, Shellos, you guys probably got... Hello! I am here. You guys probably got a little bit of an idea of what was there, but I wasn't really looking. Togepi, Gouging Fire, and Hydreigon! Oh my goodness! Holy cow! Like, it's not Ceruledge, but I kind of want to try this out, because I've always been a Hydreigon fan, so... Yeah, I think Ceruledge is supposed to be better. I've heard Ceruledge can do some massive damage, but, like, this is, like, just the greatest hits for Jepichu. Like, I cannot overstate my welcome, or my happiness. Oh, this is so cute. Ah, my asshole! Big TDV for victory. This ETB has been a V for victory. Zweilous and a Dialga. 2 more packs remain. You know, this was a great day. Lots of fun had all around, and I really just hope that everybody was able to see this art code's pretty hard. Just kind of what it was like in the day of the life of a judge, Zarude. That was rude of him falling down. And yeah, we've had hopefully I don't forget to redeem that code, otherwise I guess you guys just got a free code. You know, so if you got it, let me know. Okay, last one. Swablu, Sandygast, Zweilous, Rotom, Annihilate, Gravity Mountain, Dugtrio, Slackoth. Oh my god! Oh, we are pulling everything I wanted. Once I found out that there was an Illustrator Rare Mace Spirit, I wanted one for that deck. Oh my goodness. And then a Togekiss. Okay, holy... Guys, I cannot tell you just how fun this is. Like, this was my ETB, y'all. Flygon, one of my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon. Spirit for this dumb deck I want to build. Jasmine, my favorite Johto gym leader. Hydreigon, one of my favorite dark types. And an Ace-Spec. Like, this was a banging box, yo. I can't be upset about this. This was amazing. If you have any questions about being a judge, or how to get involved, or just anything you think I might not have touched upon, let me know in the comment section below. I hope this was informative. I hope, if there's anything I forgot, I will go ahead and I will try to do a voiceover, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I got a couple other ideas in the pipeline, maybe not anything quite like this, but we'll see, and I promise... One day, Blaine's quiz is going to come out. I have not forgotten. It will come out. I promise. I just got to finish editing it. It's a monster. Oh, what have I done? I want it to be perfect. So, but it is coming someday. Soon. Not soon. It is coming. I promise. I know I said soon like a year ago, and it's still not done, but hopefully soon, like sometime next year. February. I'm gonna shoot for February. I'm gonna force myself for February. Yeah, that's it. As always, I hope you guys do something nice for yourselves today, and I'll catch you later. Peace.